Turn this one on. I'll do it. Now you can turn your mic on.
Good morning, Mark. Everybody, yes, we're going to get underway. Monday, Sunday, stretch event, all kinds of good stuff going on today. I'm so glad you joined us. Get started today. Bring our balls to the middle parts of our mats.
Louder. I can't hear you.
Wider than hip width apart.
I can't hear you.
Ever so slightly. Bring length to the legs. Take almost all, just like a contraction.
I can't hear you.
And start to grow the hips all the way up. Big with this process. I'm going to use my thumbs and my baby finger
I can't hear you.
on this little bony area, one on each side of the horse.
I can't hear you.
So that's my baby. My thumbs are on the bottom of my face. So let the practice start.
I can't hear you.
Vertebrae and spine.
I can't hear you.
So down. Try to grow through each of the face. Yeah. And separate the
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Can't hear you? Did you turn your
We
mic?
can't hear you.
No, you're not plugged in.
Oh, where?
The cord that runs from here.
Oh, here. Okay. Sorry. I can do it. Okay. Should be good now. Thanks, Mark.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, that's nice. Camera. To get started today, thank you for that help, Mark. We're going to bring our feet a little wider than hip width apart. You're going to take the big toes and turn them in ever so slightly. And then we're going to take almost all of the bend out of the knees. And then we're going to bring our hands, baby fingers. I want you to find like this little bony spots for your pelvic girdle. Put your baby fingers upon them and then bring your thumbs up onto the bottom of your rib cage. Now, decompression, that's when we avoid compressive forces. So when we inwardly rotate, today we're going to focus on external rotation for the spine. We're going to decompress our spine. So if you can imagine now from the base of your spine all the way up and along it and all the way out through your head, I'd like you to try to find length. And then we're going to try to find a separation between the baby finger tip and the thumb right through the bottom of the rib cage, right over our belly, if you will. And as you work to grow that, I'd like you to push your chest forward. And we're not going to pin the shoulders back, quite the opposite. We're going to pull them away from the center of the body. Let's take the head and reach it upward and then drop the chin and then pull the chin in towards the neck. Take a big inhale. Now, while we work to create this decompression and maintain it, I'd like you to pull your hips backwards. And as you pull backwards, I want you to feel more weighting to the heel. Of course, as we start to do this, our gluteals are going to expand a little bit and our hamstrings are going to feel a little more length to them. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, come back up. And then let's do it again. Hips pull back, decompressing the spine as we fold halfway forward and then come back up. So we're going to add breath into this. Exhale as you come down. Inhale as you rise. All right, now come down, come back up, hold up, release the fingers and thumbs, pull the elbows all the way back. Let's make little fists with the thumbs pointing to the sky. And we're going to do what I refer to as a few good mornings here. So working the decompression of the spine, keeping that nice length, and then hips pulling back. And as we bring blood flow into the muscles of our upper legs, we're also kind of lubricating the hip joints themselves, keeping nice and active to the muscles of the back, in fact, the posterior muscles. And if we pull down, let's hold down. Let's take the fists and push them forward, thumbs aim up the sky. Nice. Now, externally, like rotate the thumbs away from each other, or away from the center line, and then come all the way up, fists clenched, just standing. Thumbs should be aiming out towards the sides of our body as best we can. Release the fists, rotate the palms forward, fold all the way down. We're in the center of our mat, so our hands walk forward and our feet step back. Now, in our shoulder position here, I want to find a elevation of the shoulders where we kind of drop down a little bit. And then while we hold that, drop down in the shoulders, pull your hips upward. And as we kind of pull hips upward, just push up onto the toes to start. Feel a nice stretch to the bottom of the feet. And if you can, try to pull the hips a little higher to the sky. Be mindful you're not forcing your chin or forehead through your arms or the space between there. You have a peripheral view of the sides of your arms. Nothing more. And then come back to your plank. And gently let the knees fall to the earth. And let's step our hands underneath the shoulders and let the head just kind of drop down. And then pull the back of the head up. And then sink into the shoulders, kind of like we practice in our plank pose. And then while we keep that sink in the shoulders, let the head fall. Wiggle it around a little bit. And then pull up with the back of the head. Take your tailbone, try to turn it up to the sky. Make your chest proud towards the earth. And inhale. And upon the exhale, come back to what you feel is your neutral spine. Pull the hips backwards, walk the hands forward. With your palms on the earth or on your mat. Let's make sure your forearms are elevated. Give us a chance to kind of rotate through the shoulder girdle a little more by pulling the sternum towards the earth. You'll notice I use the word sternum as opposed to head. A lot of times I see people trying to force their forehead onto the earth, and that doesn't really do much. It kind of lengthens through the neck, which is already a very flexible set of joints. We're trying to work to open the shoulders. So try to keep the forehead elevated off the mat and let the sternum pull through. And then come back up into all fours. Let the head fall as you fall into your shoulders. You're going to pull from the center of the spine. That's the middle upper back. Try to create a nice skyward pull. And then as you inhale, try to fill the lungs. And as you exhale, proud chest, push towards the earth, tailbone sweeps to the sky, and the back of the head also pulls skyward. Beautiful. Now, tuck your toes under, float your knees, and let's start to roll slowly, kind of a clockwise motion, side, forward, side, back, and continue to do that slowly. And then let's all meet in the forward center position and then reverse. And then let's meet forward center, bring the knees back to the earth, walk the hands forward. I'm gonna keep it in an elevated position. So we have like a tabletop back. You're gonna take your right hand, bring it underneath the left arm and sweep it through and try to rotate by pushing the right hand forward, across so that the right shoulder comes down to the mat, or your best version of that. Let's use that left arm to help elevate the right shoulder by pushing it into the earth and then switching hands. Let's use our right arm to elevate back up. Bring both hands back under, float the knees, then pull the hips to the sky. Let's push the heels to the earth. Come up onto the toes. Drive the heels earthward again. Let's oscillate between up and down. And then let's hold heels driving towards the earth and then gently lower the knees towards the earth
Feel a nice opening on the underside of the foot, up and along and into the calf. As we float the knees, bring your shoulders back over the wrists, and then pull your hips directly backwards towards the heels. A nice opening across the knees into the thighs. Push back into your bear-like position with the knees floating. Pull the hips backwards. And then from here, pull the hips upwards. Step your feet up and in between your hands as they frame, hands frame the feet. Extend to a flat back. Pull your booty back. Let your upper body fall and fold in. As you bend the knees, extend the spine, and then sweep the arms to the sky as you stand tall. Good morning for those of us that are joined in our interim of moving through this, in our warm-up. Pull your shoulders up, open the palms to face forward. Use the fingers, separate them widely, and then use them to pull the arms down. Beautiful. Now, rotate the thumbs all the way backwards. Feel a nice opening through the shoulders, chest. Sweep the hands to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, fold, step back plank. It's nice. Now, opportunity to check out manicure and pedicure. It's kind of like a mani-pedi check. Right now, you're able to see your fingertips. Pull your hips up and back towards down dog. Now it's a chance to check out those toes. How are they doing today? Beautiful. Come back to the hands. Plank pose. Pull up and back to down dog. Progressing this move, we're going to take the left leg and lift it into the air. Keep the hips and shoulders square. As we return that left foot, come back to your plank pose. Check out those manis. Pull the hips upward and back. Pedi check. Now, right leg lifts to the air. Back to earth with that foot. Come back to plank. Pull up and back down dog. Left leg lifts. Left hip opens. As we square the hips and lower the leg, come back to plank. One more time through on this side. Hips up and back. Right leg to the sky. Right hip opens to the sky. You notice the pace is slow as we return that right hip back to square. Lower the right leg. Walk your hands back towards your feet. In this folded position, let's step the feet apart to be the width of the mats with the sides of the feet running parallel to the mat. As you inhale, extend to a flat back. As you keep your back in extension, bend the knees and lower that booty. Let's walk the palms onto the shins. Let's push the palms into the shins and grow the spine ever so more slightly if we can. Make your chest proud. Pull the back of the head farther away. And then closer to the sky. While we remain static, hips, knees, and ankles. Inhale. Now, trying to keep the elevation of the hips just where we are, a little lower if you can get it. And while we work to lower the hips, I want you to raise the shoulders by opening through the hips, creating a greater angle. Let's take the hands, release them off the shins and our knees, bring the palms to face, and lower, elevate to shoulder height. Nice. Now, pull the shoulders back, broaden the shoulders, make it wide. Lower down a little deeper, rise up. Now, best you can, I want you to try and define depth. Come down deep and then come up. It's a slow movement, a lot of burning, hopefully, right? Burning is good. You know what burning represents? Kind of like fire. It's the fire that creates change for the muscles of the body. As we lengthen, we are strengthening muscle. Lower as low as you can get and come back up. You'll notice as I lower, I try to keep an openness through the hips as opposed to folding in. Try to create that length and strength from the back or posterior muscles. Come up, come down. It's okay to take a break if you need. I know this is a tiring movement. Now hold down, raise the arms, take a big breath in, and as you exhale, stand tall and bring hands over heart. Great job. This concludes our class for the day. That's our warm-up. Now, let's plant our right foot. Take the ball of that big foot, turn it into your mat, and raise the left knee. Let's bring it up about hip height. We're just going to stand here and start to warm up mechanism of muscle that enables us to balance. As we bring length to the leg, I'd like you to try to draw your whole body forward till you feel a pressurization in the toes. And then draw the hips and upper body backwards until you feel the heel becoming more pressurized. And then find a balance between the two. Good. We're just kind of centering the weight on the foot. Now let's switch sides. Same thing, opposite side. Knee comes up. Pressurize the forward part of the foot. Pressurize the back. Find the balance. Get a muscle memory for how that feels. As we put the right foot down, take the left foot back up. This time you're going to pull your heel up and in towards the hip. You're going to have a big activation of that hamstring. We're going to fold forward. And if we do so, I'd like you to sweep that contracted leg backwards. Fold halfway forward and then come all the way back up. Oops. And put that foot back down. That's a quick return. Now, opposite side. We're keeping the leg bent. So we have the heel pulling into the butt. We want to keep the heel pulling into the butt as we fold forward. My left leg is a little more daunting for me because I had an injury on it years ago. But nonetheless, if I work hard, I can kind of find the balance. Come back up, lower the right, sweep the hands to the sky. We have an unhappy Lily today. I guess she's going to get her way and finally get brought inside. Let's fold all the way down. Step back to your plank pose. Pull your hips up and back. Down dog. A little bit of rest and recovery. Nice rest and recovery. Now, push high under the toes and then drive the heels to the earth. Let's walk the hands back just slightly, just an inch or two. See if you can get your heels just a little closer to the earth. And then let's do that again. We try to work to get as much extension through that gastroc or the calf muscle. Walk back just a little more. See if you can get the heels touching. If they can't, that's fine. It's not about getting them touching. It's about finding the length through that long head of the gastroc muscle, or calf as we often refer to it. Pull your hips higher to the sky and then slowly lower your knees to hover just above the earth. You should almost be in a bear-like position. Shoulders over wrists, knees under hips, but knees floating. Enjoying the fact that they're not compressing into your mat. Let's pull to the right, the whole body. So that's the whole side. So it's not just the shoulder, not just the hip, together, shoulder and hip. Come back center, shoulder and hip, opposite side. Come back center. Pull your hips up and back. Feel that nice relief through the calf region of our body. Pull your butt high to the sky. Keep that spine long. Remember, we worked on the decompression to start, creating length, separation between hip and rib cage. Let's work that right now. And then as you come forward, step your right foot. It's being framed by both the hands. You can always drop to your left knee if you need to for balance sake, or maybe it's just a day to not challenge so hard. Extend to a flat back. Now, let's walk your hands forward of the foot. I'm going to take the left toes and push forward till we feel more weighting into that front foot. Let the right knee push forward to the right toes, and then take the left foot up and off the ground and straighten as best you can the right leg. Extend the spine as you inhale. And as you exhale, gently return back to our lunge type position. Step the right foot back, pull up and back, down dog. Walk your hands back to the heels, drive into the earth, or as close as you can get. Step your left foot up and in between the hands. And as we frame it, extend to a flat back. Right knee down is optional, of course. Let's walk the hands forward. Let's use the right toes to push forward so that the left knee pushes forward the left toes, and then gently lift the right foot from the earth, straightening the left leg. Hips and shoulders are remaining as square as best we can. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Exhale, return back to earth. Step that left foot back, pull up and back to down dog. Hands walk back to where the heels are just above or on the mat if we can. Extend as you inhale, extend the back that is. As you exhale, step the right foot up, walk the right hands forward, push forward to the knee, over the toes, elevate the left foot, lift that left leg into the air, keep the hips square, extend to a flat back, keep the right fingers down, left hand onto left hips, and if you can now, try to open that left hip towards the sky. Keeping that left leg straight, rotating through the hip socket on that right side. Just feel that nice muscle activation. Feel that strength developing as we hold. If you feel comfortable to do so, raise your left hand to the sky. On your next breath, as you release it, sweep the left hand down, square the hips, step that left foot back to the earth, step the right foot back, pull your hips up and back, walk your hands back to the heels, make a connection or float slightly above the earth. Pull your hips high to the sky. Step your left foot, frame it with your hands. Push the left knee forward. Right foot rises off the earth. Rises off the earth. Vocabulary's not so good right now. Now, right hand, right hip to the sky. Right hand reaches to the sky. Try to keep opening. This is movement that's developing muscle, not by staying static, but by challenging the rotation through the hip. Sweep the right hand down, square the hips, step the foot down and step the opposite foot back, plank pose. Pull the back of the head towards the sky. Make the chest proud, drop into the shoulders, pull the hips up and back. Nice. A little bit different transition this time. Right leg raises to the air. Right foot steps up. It's framed by the hands. We're going to step the right hand inside left foot. And optional if needed, knee to the earth would be the left knee this time. Extend to a flat back as you inhale. As you exhale, let's walk the hands forward. Keeping that back in extension. Now, if we progress through this opening, you get to choose body appropriate today. If you can, take the left elbow, lower it towards the earth. If you can, right elbow lowers towards the earth. Keep the spine in extension as best you can. Please, best you can, try to work the spinal extensors. As we raise the right elbow, bring the right hand back by the right foot. As we raise the left elbow, left hand steps back. Let's step the right foot back, widen the hands, pull up and back, down dog. Take the left leg, raise it to the sky. Hands will frame that left foot as it steps forward. Extend to a flat back. Step that left hand inside that left foot. Remember, knee to ground is optional. Just reminding, right? Now, left and right hand, step forward. Right elbow slowly descends towards the earth. And if it's there, bring that left one along to the party. Extend to a flat back. Work the extensors to the back. Work and grow. Grow them, grow them, grow them. Step that left hand back to the left foot. Use it to help elevate. Right hand steps down. Left foot steps back. Widen the stance of the hands. Pull up and back, down dog. Heels drive to the earth. Walk the hands back to your body. All the way back this time. No trickery now, just walking back. We are inverted. We hang upside down. Now inhale, extend to a flat back. Exhale, lower. Inhale, extend. Pull your hips backwards. Walk your hands forward. Now, extending to a flat back. Hips pulling back. Nice orientation of weight. More dominant to the heel. And spinal extensors definitely active. Let's take the left arm and sweep it up shoulder height beside the body. So it's not forward, it's beside. And then let's return left. Take up the right. Now you'll notice that the arm has a lot of mobility through the shoulder joint. I want you to be mindful of that as you return the right arm back down and then bring the left arm back out beside the body, shoulder height. Instead of raising the arm further or rotating further through the shoulder, let's take the left shoulder and lift it to the sky. And then as we return that back down, I'm gonna go with the opposite side. What's good for the left is good for the right. Now, shoulder raises. This is not a political commercial. It's a bilateral analysis of the body. And then lower right. Step your feet back, plank. Pull up and back, down dog. Come back to plank. Hover the knees. Hover the knees. Pull the hips backwards, not upwards, backwards. Slowly. Hold out here. Come back to plank. Slowly. Pull up and back, down dog. Come back to your plank pose. Knees, hover. Slowly pull the butt back towards the heels. Hold. Tremble. May not be optional, may be necessary, but tremble if you need. Come back to plank. Hips up and back, down dog. Final time through, plank. Knees hover, hips pull back. Hold, breathe, enjoy. Come back to plank, up and back with the hips. Step the feet forward to the hands. Extend to a flat back as you inhale. Lower that butt on the exhale. Extend the spine as you inhale. Stand tall as you exhale.
Bring hands over heart. Hello, everybody. All right. I am looking at the camera. The camera's right there. Yes. All right, we're having a little domestic, can you tell? Now let's take the left foot, step it back. Kirsten's doing the full-on front view. I'm doing the back view. Now, I'd like you to lean in, not by flexing for the spine, but being long and then just using your hips and hinging forward. Take your knee and pull it back so that the weighting is mostly to the heel of the foot. Nice. Now, you're up on the toes of the back foot. Let's make sure we haven't rotated around. I want that heel pointing straight up. So take a little look. Is it? Oh, yeah, right on, like that. Now, fold in a little deeper.
He's trying to kiss me.
And trying to get cute with my wife. How you doing, sweetie? How are things on your mat?
Good.
Now, from hands heart, I want you to slowly lower the fingers all the way down to the earth. You'll notice that the bend in my knee has not changed. But we're going to change it. We're going to bend the knee and push it forward of the toes of the right foot. Feel a nice stretch to that left hip flexor. Keep the spine long. And then straighten the leg. Pull the hips backward. Fold down onto the leg as best you can. As you inhale, extend the spine. And as you exhale, step the back foot forward and switch sides. As we unfold from the floor, we're going to bring positional awareness back, knee driving back the heel. As we bring hands over heart, we have that nice lean in, toes of the back foot, heel aiming to the sky, front foot, the pressure of the heel felt. It's our experience, mostly. Take the ball of that big foot, push it into the earth. If your balance feels a little wobbly, that's fine. That's just your nervous system adjusting to the fact that it hasn't been using that group of proprioceptors. It'll figure it out. Now, release the hands. Let the hips be the functional part of the rotation down. As you touch the fingertips to the earth, extend to a flat back. As you exhale, fold into the leg, extend the leg straight as best you can. Bend the left knee, push it forward of the left toe box. Extend to a flat back. Pull the hip to the sky, fold in. Step that left foot back. Pull up and back to down dog. Heels drive to the earth. Push high under your toes. Keep the toe push high, come back to plank pose. Sink into the shoulders. Pull your belly button up and into the sky as you inhale. Lengthen the spine, and as you exhale, pull your hips up and back. Inhale, pull the hips higher to the sky. Keep the push high under those toes. As your heels drive earth, walk the hands back to the feet. Forward fold. Let it all hang out. As we step the feet just a little wider than hip width apart. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Pull the booty back. Keep the knees long and unencumbered with bends. We want length. Now, we're going to add bend into it. Slowly bend the knees, lower that butt. Keep the spine in extension as best you can. Push the hips back to the sky. Let the upper body fold in. Extend to a flat back. Keep the spinal extension. Bend the knees, lower that butt. Get it a little lower if you can. Keep that spine extending.
Push the hips to the sky, fold into the legs. Inhale, extend. Booty down, back long. Now, hold down, bring the forearms up and onto the thighs. Boom, big squat position. I tricked you, didn't I? Now, hands extend forward. Beautiful. Proud chest, pull that belly button in when you give me the proud chest. Stand tall, hands up. Oh, lower the arms shoulder height. Belly button sucks in, butt pulls back as the hips lower. Weight is mostly oriented in the heel. Come down low, hold. Raise the hands higher. Keep the hands raising, stand tall. This is a lot of work. Yes, I realize that. Inhale, extend. Exhale, lower. Butt back, lower the hips. Keep the ball of each big toe pushing into your mat. Lower, 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 lower. Raise the arms. Fold in, step back plank. Great job. Pull up and back to down dog. Lower the knees onto the mat. Walk the hands forward, child's pose. The moment you've all been waiting for, right? A little break. Break time. Now, remember, our forehead is not an area that we use to accept the weight of our head in regards to being in a prone or face down position. We're pulling through with the sternum. We're elevating the back of the head, allowing those muscles of the front of our body an opportunity to lengthen. Enjoy this. Let's walk the hands back underneath the shoulders. Let's sink into the shoulders, let the head fall from the center of the spine, pull up, and then reverse this, cat position. Instead of looking forward, look down. Find out what's the opportunity to ground your body, which is that earth beneath us. I want you to have a gaze upon the earth as you pull the back of the head high to the sky without pushing away from the earth. We want the shoulders sinking, back of the head elevating, chest proud, tailbone. Let's try to rotate it to the sky as you pull your belly button in. Inhale, and as you exhale, let's reverse. Let the head fall, hollow out the belly. Tailbone is tucking under. Nice extension to the lumbar or lower back while we have flexion through the upper back. And then let's come back to neutral spine. Up off the knees. Pull the hips upward to the sky. Drive the heels to the earth as your body floats back onto the feet. Walk your hands back to them. Step them out wider than the mat. And then just keep going. Coming back to something we warmed up earlier. I'd like you to pull your hips backwards. Kirsten is going to give you the side view. Most important, there's a lot of things that are, but just to touch the major one, I want you to pull back with the hips. I want you to feel that pull in the medial or middle part of the legs and along your buttocks and down into the hamstrings. If it feels like the pad of your foot has more weight than the heel, you're in the wrong spot. It's a different exercise. I'd like you to pull back and get the weight to the heels. Bring your spine to extension. Bring your head towards the sky without looking forward. Look down, make sure that Manny's still looking good. Now, we talked about mobility through the shoulder before. I'm going to bring the left arm up shoulder height. And now, trunk rotation. We're going to lift the left shoulder to the sky. Try not to swing that left arm. I want you to rotate the shoulder. Look up at the hand this time. Lower left, switch right. Right shoulder to the sky. Now, practice is the dominant movement of your body is going to take over this particular exercise and start pulling you forward to the toes. I'd like you to continue to work to the heels by pulling back, back, back the hips. Let's switch sides. We're going to increase the frequency just a little bit. Right arm, right shoulder. Make sure those hips are pulling back. Left side. Come down, right side. And as we come down this time, walk your hands forward. This is our last bit of effort for the day. We have a wide leg stance. We're up on the toes. We're going to do some push-ups just to finish off. Then we do some stretching, right? I can see everyone's head nodding. Now, hover low, hover high, hover low and high. Keep going till your body says no. Everyone meet in the wide leg plank. Step your feet in and have a seat. Great job. That was awesome, wasn't it? Now, some stretches to finish up. Let's lie down. Slowly lower. Pull the knees up and into the chest. Pull the knees away from the center line of the body. Rotate them towards the earth, towards the bottom of your body. Pull them back to the center line. Pull them up, out, down, and in. Circle. And then reverse that circle. We're working both of the joints independently. And see if one area or one joint has a different movement pattern than the other. And if so, it might be a little tell on something that needs to be worked. Change happens with awareness. Lack of awareness is a roadblock to change. So let's just find out where we are. Now, let's hold the legs right about, knees about belly button height, and let's start to open a little wider. And then bring both thighs together. Let's lower the feet. And then position them just slightly forward of the knees, so the heels are forward of knees, farther away from the body, if you will. Let's squeeze the thighs and let's elevate the hips slightly. And then lower down, and then step the feet out about 3 or 4 inches. Let's keep the thighs connected. Squeeze and lift. And then lower. And let's step out the feet about hip width apart. Turn the thighs and toes into touch. Let's pull the heels up and into the body, and let's try to raise the hips. And then lower, and then now keeping the feet the same width apart, step them out as far as they will go. And then just pull in an inch. Toes and thighs turn in to touch, heels pull towards your butt. Lift your feet, lift your hips up off the ground. So all together, heels pulling to butt, hip rising off the earth. And as you relax, pull the knees up and into the chest. That's good. Nice little lengthening of those hamstrings. All right. Let's extend the legs all the way out. Let's take the elbows up shoulder height. We have a 90-degree bend in the elbows. Palms are facing towards our feet, towards the bottom. We're going to rotate the palms towards the earth. You'll notice that your shoulders might want to do some funky things. Don't. Just let them be wherever they need to be. Don't force this. This is just an opportunity to stretch some very specific muscles through the shoulder without creating a risk of injury or anything else. Now rotate the hands, arms, keeping the 90-degree bend in the elbow, as back as far as you can.
you'll find that one direction of movement is better than the other. And that's normally because we spend a lot of time being inwardly rotated, and the muscles that allow us to have stability and forward movement are often compromised. Come back up, last time back. I'm going to take a few breaths before we call it the end of our day and allow you to begin the rest of your day. Let's bring hands over heart as we come up to seating position and cross the legs, whatever feels comfortable. As you inhale, extend to a flat back. And as you exhale, let me thank you all for joining us today. I appreciate you being here. I hope you have a wonderful, fun day Sunday. Namaste. Namaste. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
That was great, Sean. Thank you.
Oh, and thank you.
Great.
Thank you, Mark.
It's hard, very hard.
It has to be a little bit hard, but I'm glad you persisted. That's very good.
Can you send me that? Can you send me the tape? Because I have to do it again.
The tape of this, absolutely.
Yes.
Sure, I'll do it too. I
So we
like that
lost
one.
our Canadian friends. I guess they've been too busy partying to do the classes.
Yes.
They ditched us yesterday. They ditched us today.
Did Victoria leave?
We're gonna have to- What?
Pardon me?
Victoria already leave?
Yeah, they're all with my sister up in Muskoka in Canada celebrating.
North of
That's
Toronto.
great. North of
Oh,
Toronto.
okay.
Yeah, so I think they're having a good time.
Apparently.
Well deserved.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, for my sister, it's an excuse not to have to do it.
It's funny.
But you know, I got rear-ended in my car on Friday afternoon at 4 o'clock on
Oh.
the Ocean Drive.
Oh, no.
The car in front of me had stopped, so I stopped, and then the car behind me smacked. And I drive a Mini Cooper. It's so
Oh, no.
tiny, so I have really bad whiplash. But
Oh, Kirsten.
yeah, and I need to get a new bumper on the back of the car, but that's okay. They'll fix it. The lady was very apologetic. She goes, "I wasn't looking."
Great.
I'm like, "No
Oh.
shit, you weren't looking." I guess you weren't looking. So
Yeah.
that was,
Oh,
it was
what a
pretty
shame.
scary. And
What
the
a
dog was
pain.
in the dog sits like in the front seat, you know, their bucket seats. It's a stick shift car. She
Right.
sits right behind the stick shift. And she just like did a somersault and landed on the floor in the front seat.
Oh,
So she was all like, "Oh my God." And she was all freaked out. But
it's just the bumper?
yeah, just the bumper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What a pain. I'm sorry that happened.
How's your
Yeah,
neck?
it was not the way I had planned on starting my weekend, but oh
No.
well.
How's your lower back? You had problems with your back 10 years ago, didn't you?
Did I what?
Problems with your back 10 years ago. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, well, after I had kids.
Injections.
Yeah.
No, you had to have injections?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had tons of
A
injections.
rhizotomy. Yeah.
Now
Oh,
I just work out and I feel great.
Yes.
Yeah. Just have to get my neck fixed a little bit, but it'll be fine.
yeah.
I got Sean. He's been working it.
Yeah. I put my hand around her neck.
No. How are you
Okay,
doing,
Lauren.
Cass? You good?
I'm doing good. I feel great.
Good. Thanks for joining us. I'm
Yeah,
glad
I
you
love
woke
it.
up.
Thank you.
Good job.
Okay, I'll
guys.
see you.
So tomorrow I'm teaching Monday instead of Tuesday
Okay,
because Tuesday morning we're having a fire alarm
okay.
test. So tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, and we'll send the link out tonight.
Perfect.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Love you.
Thanks for
Love you.
joining.
Sunday.
Love you too.
Wonderful
Have a
Sunday.
great rest of your day.
Thank you.